occasion like this, and you got obviously Fran Kirby back in the squad. We've got a load of winners here, and I think they're ready to put it right.
So it will be the Netherlands to get us underway as the players take the knee at the start of this match. The message against racism still clear. England also wearing black armbands in honour of Terry Venables, who passed away last weekend. So the Netherlands in possession, playing from right to left in this must-win match at Wembley for England here on BBC Radio 5 Live. And early chance to see that formation with no recognised striker on the pitch, and it is Lauren Hemp through the centre as we expected. I say no recognised striker because Alessia Russo and Rachel Daly are the two number 9s in the squad, but it is a role that Hemp has played on occasion for Manchester City, and we saw it in game, didn't we, sometimes at the World Cup, as the Dutch play the ball up towards the halfway line looking for Berenstein, headed away not once but twice by Jess Carter, and England will try and pick it up in the centre circle. Ball spins out to the left-hand side, and Niamh Charles will collect it, sends it back to Alex Greenwood, who plays it away from Berenstein and up towards Lauren James. Out to the left-hand side, and her Chelsea counterpart Niamh Charles, and all the way back to Alex Greenwood, and back now to Mary Earps, wearing the captain's armband in the absence of the injured Millie Bright. A rainbow armband this evening to mark the 10th anniversary of the Rainbow Laces campaign, as England win the free kick just outside their penalty area. So just a word on this formation, Karen, and the role that Lauren Hemp is taking, playing through the centre, and the fact she has played that at times in her career, even though she's more naturally a wide player.
Yeah, I was flipping back through some of the previous performances all the way back to the Euros, and I was looking at, how Ellen White was creating space for England as well, and it's that threat to the back line that, Lauren Hemp is obviously going to provide that run to space to try and drop the back line and create the opportunities for Fran Kirby or Georgia Stanway to get on the ball just in front of the back four.
Here goes Lucy Bronze over the halfway line for England, plays it out to the right hand side, which is where Hemp is for now. James is making the run into the penalty area on the far side. Lauren Hemp looks for her. Lauren James wins the header and heads behind for a Netherlands goal kick, but already you're seeing the rapidity with which these England players are attacking.
Yeah, obviously Lauren Hemp is absolutely rapid, so I'd imagine, I said back four earlier, sorry, it was a back three, but they will have one thought and one eye on where she is at all times, because just if you switch off, she's clever with the runs off the shoulder, she can force that back line back, but then like I said, you've got the likes of Georgia Stanway taking a more advanced position, you've got Chloe Kelly ready to nibble at any chance she gets. Huge threats.
So the Netherlands in possession on this near side, the left. Played back to the former Arsenal defender Dominic Janssen, and in field now to the hugely experienced captain Sherida Spitzer. Actually made her debut against England all the way back in 2006 as Esme Brooks plays the ball forward to Annette Berenstein. England get the interception in, and Lucy Bronze has it, sends it back to Alex Greenwood just outside the penalty area. So England with Mary Earps in goal, the back four of Lucy Bronze, Jess Carter, Alex Greenwood and Niamh Charles. Ahead of them it's Georgia Stanway and Kira Walsh, with Chloe Kelly, Fran Kirby and Lauren James supporting Lauren Hemp up top as the free kick is given. Hemp goes down midway through the Netherlands half, and England have the set piece in this wide right position. Early doors in this game, 3 minutes gone, 0-0. This must-win match for the Lionesses if they're to keep alive their hopes of topping their Nations League group, and with it, Team GB's hopes of qualifying for the Olympics next year. And worth reiterating as well just how big the Olympics is in terms of the tournament in the women's game. Historically, it's been viewed as just below the World Cup. Would be a bitter disappointment if England and Team GB, as it would be, failed to qualify. Early set piece, free kick from the wide right hand side, swinging left footed by Alex Greenwood, headed away before it will fall to James in the area, and the Netherlands will steer it up towards the halfway line. Greenwood plays it forward once again. Here is Hemp looking lively in these early stages, goes down on the edge of the penalty area. No free kick given. Lucy Bronze wins it back on the right hand side. She then goes down under the challenge of Daniela van der Donk, the former Arsenal player. Chloe Kelly then, who picked the ball up, is dispossessed down by the corner flag, and the Netherlands will bring it away with the former Manchester United player Jackie Groenen. So many players for the Dutch have WSL experience, are former teammates and opponents of many of these Lionesses, and they've sent the ball straight out of play, and it will be an England throw. The Netherlands with Daphne van Domselaar of Aston Villa in goal. The back three of Sherida Spitzer, Dominic Janssen and Caitlin Dijkstra. Ahead of them it's Arsenal's Victoria Palova winning her 50th cap. Jackie Groenen, Jill Roord of Manchester City, Daniela van der Donk and Esme Brooks, with Lynette Berenstein and Lieke Martens up front. It's Lucy Bronze takes this throw from the right-hand side for England. Forward to Lauren Hemp, edge of the penalty area. Back to Bronze once more. Chloe Kelly wearing the pink headband this evening. Won't quite keep it in. And the throw goes the way of the Dutch midway through their own half on this left-hand side. Chloe Kelly, of course, who was the heroine in extra time here at Wembley against Germany. As Wales fall behind in the Women's Nations League against Iceland. Iceland leading by a goal to nil. That was a 7:15 kick-off. Still goalless between Belgium and Scotland. That's good news for England. They need Belgium to drop points in their final two games as Chloe Kelly latches onto that ball in the area. The header is tame though, it's wide. And it's a goal kick to the Netherlands. Karen Bardsley. This start though from England has been bright.
Yeah, it certainly has. You know, England have been pressing very, very high. Even if they do lose possession, the regains are there straight away. There's an element of directness from Jess Carter that I'm liking, you know, with that run in behind from Lauren Hemp. Really, really good start in terms of anticipating where the ball is going to go. You got Lucy Bronze in a high starting position. It's a lovely start.
Van Domselaar for the Dutch sends the ball up towards halfway. Jill Roord wins it ahead of her former Manchester City teammate Kira Walsh. And the ball is won by England on the halfway line, and it will be a free kick to the Lionesses. Should clarify that we mean England's Lionesses. The Dutch are also known as the Orange Lionesses back in Holland. As the ball is played over the halfway line, offside flag is up against Lauren Hemp over on the far side. But interesting there, Hemp taking up the position on the left, having cut in from that central position. She is playing as the number 9 through the centre. Kirby very much in the 10, although she has the number 9 on her back. When we got the team sheet, we did think there's no way Fran Kirby's going to play as a false 9 as the Dutch give the ball away. Chloe Kelly tries to feed him, but she has it taken off her toes. Good anticipation by Jackie Groenen, and Van Domselaar under pressure from Kelly will clear up towards the halfway line, headed forward by Alex Greenwood. Kirby now has it back to Walsh, and Stanway will steer it back to Jess Carter, and now out to Lucy Bronze on this right hand side, halfway line, plays it over the top looking for the run of Fran Kirby. Oh, the Dutch almost get themselves in a bit of a mix there. Cleared away at the back just about by Dijkstra. It's cleared out of play. Well, that was nervy. England throw. Dijkstra trying to shepherd it back to Van Domselaar, but in the end steered it past her goalkeeper, managed to get past her own teammate and clear the ball away. But as a keeper, you're furious with your defender there, surely.
Well, someone needs to take control of the situation clearly, and I think at times you think as a goalkeeper, let your defender defend, but ultimately Van Domselaar needs a more advanced starting position there to affect the ball. But this is the likes of Fran Kirby on the end of this. You know, she's always a threat. She chases everything, so need to really be more decisive there from the Dutch. But can England capitalise on moments like that?
Janssen intercepts the throw and plays the ball straight out of play, and England will have another throw. Lucy Bronze has tried to gain about 10 yards there, and the referee Tess Olofsson of Sweden quite rightly has said, hang on, just stop there, take the throw level with the edge of the Netherlands penalty area. Good start this from England, a match they need to win, and ideally by more than one goal, as the foul is committed by Hemp just inside the penalty area, and it will be a free kick to the Netherlands. But she started really well, Lauren Hemp, hasn't she, on her 50th cap?
Absolutely, she looks like she's buzzing. She's got so much energy. She brings a really an endeavour to this squad in terms of her willingness to go and press, and she's clever in terms of where she wants to force the press as well. You know, this is a perfect opportunity to win second balls in the midfield. Kira Walsh is on the ball here. Vic, I'll let you take over. Yeah,
picks it up in the centre circle. England are playing with a real urgency. They know they've got to win this match, and they've started like they mean to. Ball into the penalty area from Stanway. Van Domselaar came, didn't get there. Neither will Lauren James, though, over on the far side. And it's out of play for a Dutch goal kick. The Netherlands, quite simply, can't get out of their own half at the moment.
No, they're struggling, and it says a lot about the Lionesses' press as well. You know, I think what I noticed already was, you know, like I said, regains and ball retention. We're seeing it from the likes of Fran Kirby, and that's the sort of control that she brings in the midfield. And so when the ball does change hands, or there's always an outlet pass for the Lionesses, so it's been a good start.
9 minutes gone, 0-0. I tell you what, was Daphne Van Domselaar delaying already over that goal kick? Let's just remind everyone, if the Dutch draw, they keep qualification for the Nations League finals, and with it, the potential to qualify for the Olympics as well, in their own hands. A draw is enough for them. We were told very definitively by many of the Dutch journalists that they'd, you know, come here and play their usual attacking game. Is it tactical, or are England just not allowing them to do so far as Spitzer drives forward very experienced captain Lucy Bronze makes that interception, headed away by Janssen, but again those balls not falling to a Dutch teammate, and Lucy Bronze comes forward. Van der Donk almost wins it back in the centre. Stanway does well to keep hold of it initially, but then gives it away, and Groenen has it. Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, again, you've hit the nail on the head there, Vicky, with the first and second balls. They're not allowing the Dutch to grow into this at all.
Mary Earps out quickly to deny Beerenstein, who was racing onto that through ball. Earps taking the armband in the absence of the injured Millie Bright. Leah Williamson, England's main captain, still out injured as well. As the ball goes out of play for a Dutch throw. Again, they're taking their time over this, or am I being too harsh, Karen Bardsley?
I think maybe you are a little bit. I'm going to back the goalkeeper here on this one, Van Domselaar. I think she's assessing her options when she's playing out.
Here goes Lauren James as England pick up possession once again. Really good start this by the Lionesses as Lauren Hemp into the area. Oh, just wide. Did Van Domselaar get a touch on that?
Surely,
it's
yes.
given us a goal kick, but she was across quickly. Well, they're claiming the corner. That's what Hemp's saying over on the far side. And Karen Bardsley, you said straight away, she got a good hand to that, pushing it past the post. Should have been a corner. Goal kick Netherlands.
As a goalkeeper, I'd be fuming. Just made a save like that. Ultimately a game-changing save, and it's given us a goal kick. Excuse me.
Well, she'll take it because it's gone the way of the Netherlands. But we have acknowledged the quality of that save. But good chance for England, good movement. Big call it was to drop Russo and leave Rachel Daly on the bench. England playing without an out-and-out recognised striker, although, as we say, Hemp, who's playing in that number 9, has played there on occasion. So the Netherlands come forward. Beerenstein into the penalty area. Checks back. Beerenstein. 1-0. 1-0 to the Dutch. Completely against the run of play. And it's Lynette Beerenstein who gives them the lead at Wembley in this must-win match for the Lionesses. They fall behind early on. England 0, Netherlands 1.
Oh, and it's a lovely ball from Palova in terms of the weight that Beerenstein runs onto the ball, and it's a beautiful first-time finish. And from this angle, I can't quite tell, Vicky, if it goes through Mary Earps or just to the right of her. But it looked to me like it was a very, very well-taken finish indeed. But some really nice build-up down this far side. And yeah, what the weight on that ball from Palova. And an excellent finish. It's unlucky for Mary Earps. And almost the defense, Jess Carter nearly runs over the ball, and Beerenstein is quick enough to change direction while Jess Carter continues towards the goal, and it goes through the legs of Jess Carter and looks like it wrong foots Mary Earps.
Wembley finds its voice again, having been momentarily stunned. And that is how quickly momentum can shift in football. It had been all England in these opening 12 minutes, but just like that, the Dutch down the other end. And Beerenstein, who's been in very good form recently, scoring a couple of goals against Scotland in the 4-0 victory, showing what she can do. It's clinical. Carter, whose positioning usually is so good, just couldn't get back and make a difference there. And as the ball goes out of play for a Netherlands throw midway through their own half, it's the first time that we really had that centre-half partnership tested in the absence of captain Millie Bright, and they weren't able to prevent the Dutch from taking the lead.
It's a really unlucky goal, I think, to be honest, in terms of defence for Jess Carter. She positions herself well, she gets herself ahead of Beerenstein, but the ball just seems to hit the back of her foot and just falls gently enough to Beerenstein where she can change direction. And then Jess Carter momentum is taking her towards the goal. And listen, and then she gets, nutmegged for the strike as well. So not a great moment, unfortunately. But listen, the Lionesses need to respond here. This is a game-changing moment.
Well, they have faced pressure before. We think of the quarter-final against Spain in the Euros, where they scored that late equaliser to take it to extra time. We think of the last 16 in the World Cup just this summer, where they came through against Nigeria on penalties to achieve ultimately their best ever finish at a Women's World Cup, runners-up to Spain. They need to dig deep. They need to find that response within them. They need to take encouragement with how well they played in this opening 12 minutes, because they're behind in a match they need to win. Here is Lucy Bronze, comes in field now to Alex Greenwood, plays it out to this left-hand side, and Niamh Charles Out she goes to the left once more, looking for Lauren James, but it's intercepted and cleared away by Sharida Spitzer, and Berenstein to the centre again, and Mary Epps comes out of her penalty area and clears away. But it's clear that Berenstein has got the beating of Jess Carter for pace. Now, Carter isn't the quickest defender as the Netherlands win a throw on the halfway line right hand side, but her positioning is usually so excellent. However, early doors, Berenstein is causing that England back line real problems.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Vicky. She's definitely got the better of Jess Carter twice already here. But you're right, you're used to seeing Jess Carter body position and, you know, like getting across the opposition striker, being able to slow that run down. But, you know, Alex Greenwood or Jess Carter needs to take control of this right now and delay that service as well, higher up the pitch into her.
Here is Daphne van Domselaar, plays the ball straight out of play. The Netherlands and Aston Villa #1, and Lucy Bronze takes the throw quickly. Here is Georgia Stanway now. Plays it out to the left-hand side, and Niamh Charles. And she is dispossessed and will be picked up by Arsenal's Victoria Pelova over on the far side. Netherlands in possession, midway through their own half, leading by a goal to nil in a match England have to win to keep alive Team GB's hopes of qualifying for the Olympics in Paris next summer. The Netherlands in possession, midway through their own half, back to Dominique Janssen, plays it forwards to Lieke Martens, who was such a star of Serena Wiegmann's side when she won the Euros with the Dutch back in 2017. So many of this Dutch side know Wiegmann so well, having finished runners-up at the World Cup in 2019 under her as well. And it is her current side, her current lionesses, Serena Wiegmann, that trail here at Wembley as the Dutch, growing in confidence after that goal, come down the right-hand side, approaching the penalty area. Kira Walsh does enough on the halfway line to hold up Pelova. So they'll send it in field to Caitlin Dijkstra. So they work it out to the right-hand side once again. Good interception by Alex Greenwood, and Kira Walsh will play it forward quickly. And here goes Chloe Kelly, chance to advance towards the halfway line. Very good positioning by the former Manchester United midfielder Jackie Groenen. And Dominique Janssen has it for the Dutch just inside the Netherlands half. Let's get an update from the FA Cup. York against Wigan. Charlie Slater.
15 minutes gone, goalless here. Not a lot to pick apart between the two sides. York have started quite well, but I've got to be honest, I keep losing the ball in the fog, and then it reappears 40 yards away from where I thought it was. Still goalless, always entertaining.
And if it's hard for you, Charlie, imagine what it's like for the players. Thanks very much. We will keep you right up to date with that FA Cup second round tie here on 5 Live throughout this evening. Here at Wembley, England 0, the Netherlands 1 in the Women's Nations League, and Brooks is coming down the left-hand side for the Dutch. Berenstein, their goal scorers, in the centre, but she picks out Martens instead. The shot is blocked, comes to Van der Donk, who drives wide. That ball always swerving away from Mary Epps' far post. And it remains 1-0 to the Netherlands with 17 minutes gone.
Oh, Vicky, that was far too easy for Esme Brooks to get round. With Chloe Kelly chasing that ball, it was in too easy to Van der Donk at the edge of the area, and she just pulls it wide, but there's not enough pressure on the ball to delay Brooks getting into the box, and then certainly not enough at the edge of the area. A free shot and opportunity for someone like Danielle Van der Donk is very, very dangerous indeed.
Lucy Bronze has it on this right-hand side. Since the Dutch goal, only one side on top here, Karen, and it's not England.
No, absolutely. I mean, what a boost of confidence that goal has given this Dutch side. They look like that press initially from, so much confidence as Lauren Hemp nearly nicks it off the Dutch centre-back.
Yeah, almost took it off Caitlin Dijkstra there, but Dijkstra, whether by luck or judgment, calmly managed to turn away from Hemp, and they're coming forward once more, and there's space once more out on this left-hand side for Esme Brooks, another forward for the Dutch who's in very good form. She's up against Lucy Bronze, plays it in field to Danielle Van der Donk, the former Arsenal player. Jackie Groenen as an option. Here is Groenen out to the left-hand side, and Dominique Janssen. But this is the perfect scenario for the Dutch. A draw is good enough for them to keep it in their own hands. A victory could see them win the group tonight if results elsewhere go their way, as Groenen sends it out to the right-hand side. England, remember, have to win to keep alive Team GB's hopes of qualifying for the Olympics. They trail by a goal to nil here on 5 Live at Wembley with 19 minutes played as the Dutch give the ball away. Georgia Stanway has it just outside the England penalty area and will be played forward up towards the halfway line, and Lauren Hemp, she can't get there though. Spitzer gets the foot in. Jackie Groenen picks it up for the Netherlands. Here is Lieke Martens taking on Georgia Stanway, plays it back to Danielle Van der Donk, and now all the way back to Sherida Spitzer winning her 226th cap for the Dutch this evening. I mean, she's 33 years of age, and as she has it once more just outside the penalty area, what a remarkable player.
She is a phenomenal player. As long as I can remember, she's always been in this Dutch side. I mean, she's just been the backbone of them.
And here they come, advancing through the England half. They have refound their confidence after taking that early lead through Berenstein, completely against the run of play. England had started so well, but right now they can't get a foot on the ball, the Lionesses. As Lika Martins has it, midway through the England half. Lays it off on this left-hand side to Dominique Janssen, the white shirts of England, dropping deeper and deeper. Again, space for Daniela van der Donk. Plays it forward to Berenstein on the edge of the penalty area, trying to turn away from Alex Greenwood, who gets the foot in. Picked up once more by van der Donk, and now Jackie Groenen swings it into the penalty area. Lucy Bronze wins the header. Stanway chest down on the edge of the area. Lovely turn away from Daniela van der Donk. Really well played by Georgia Stanway. And here, can England spring the counter? Short pass by Frank Kirby. Lucy Bronze just had to clear it anywhere would do. Spins out to the left-hand side, and Niamh Charles, who plays it back to the edge of the penalty area. England 1, England 0, I should say. The Netherlands 1. Karen Bardsley.
It's wishful thinking there, Vicky, isn't it? Yeah, you know, I'm watching this and you think there's so much fluidity in this Dutch side. You know, Lika Martins and Van der Donk have the run of the midfield at this moment in time. And because they're so able to get higher up the pitch, there's no kind of threat to their back line either, so they can sustain the attacks.
Not good news elsewhere for England. Belgium have taken the lead against Scotland as the Netherlands win the corner, the deflection off Alex Greenwood. Everything is going against England. However, now 1-1. Erin Cuthbert has equalised. Cuthbert, who would be very much pushing for a place in that Team GB squad were England to qualify on behalf of Team GB for the Olympics in Paris next summer. It's all the narratives, it's all the permutations happening here this evening on 5 Live. So 1-1, reminder, England have to win here, and at some point over the last 2 games, Belgium have to drop points. England at the moment not holding up their end of the bargain. The Dutch have a corner. They've been the better side since taking that lead through Lynette Berenstein. Can they increase the pressure on Serena Wiegmann's Lionesses? Corner swung in, flicked away by Lucy Bronze, comes out to Jill Ward, left-hand side of the penalty area, dings it back in, oh, it's off the crossbar, spins back out to the right-hand side. The Netherlands still pushing, blocked away by Lauren James. It'll be another corner now. It's one of those crots that Beth Mead on the bench, I'm sure, would say, hang on, that's my trademark. But Jill Ward of Manchester City almost scored one there against Manchester United's Mary Earps.
She did. It was a lovely ball in. I don't think for one moment it was meant to be an opportunity on goal. She saw a dangerous opening in terms of the back post space. It was wide open.
Corner to the Dutch, driven in low. Lika Martins got contact on it. They're appealing for a corner, but it's been given as a goal kick by our Swedish referee Tess Olofsson. And Mary Earps will take this goal kick for England. How do England get a grip of this game, Karen Bardsley? Because it is slipping away from them. Yes, plenty of time to play. We're only midway through the first half, but there's been no response to that early Dutch opener.
No, indeed. I think you can see that it looks like there's going to be, you know, double pivot at times with Keir Walsh and Georgia Stanway in central areas, trying to either narrow up the midfield so they can play wide or just help with that extra pass and build up into the midfield. But yeah, an element of directness we see from Lauren James getting on the second balls and the first balls, but there needs to be that threat from Lauren Hemp.
Here comes Chloe Kelly down the right-hand side, plays it back to Lucy Bronze, who steps away from Lika Martins, but everything that was going so well for England in the first 10 now is not. Lauren James, though, picks it up, goes for goal, curler just outside the area, over the bar.
We know that Lauren James loves drifting into those central areas, and she's got that in her back pocket all day, but in terms of the level of this game, those opportunities, you've got to be clinical in those moments. And to have Niamh Charles screaming up the far side of the pitch asking for it, maybe that was the better opportunity.
Well, the Netherlands have a player down inside their own penalty area. Can't imagine that this is tactical because they really are in the ascendancy at the moment. So play paused for now as treatment is given on field. And England's players come together, many of them in the centre circle. It is that time, isn't it, where you need a group meeting, and Mary Earps has come up from her goal as well, because having started so brightly, England, having seen Lauren Hemp draw that good save from Daphne van Domselaar, completely against the run of play, Lynette Berenstein has given the Dutch the lead, and England know they need to respond here. The question is working out a way to do so. Yeah,
I was just thinking about, you know, where that goal has come from Berenstein as well, and obviously the ball from Palova, but you know, the line from the Lioness is so high, and there's not necessarily a threat or an opportunity to stop the threat at source in terms of getting pressure on the ball. And it's really, really difficult for a line to stay that high. So is it going to be a gamble that we see in terms of Mary Earps having a higher starting position, or is it going to be slightly dropping that back line, or is it going to be getting Lauren Hemp to get closer to the ball, higher up the pitch? We just need a little bit more from this Lioness side.
Well, they've broken away from that team huddle, and the Netherlands will have this goal kick inside their own penalty area. They are temporarily down to 10. Jackie Groenen it is who is struggling here and is receiving treatment down by the corner flag as Serena Wiegman stands, arms clasped behind her back. The former Dutch manager now looking to get the better of her home nation, her old side, with England. It's England who trail here on BBC Radio 5 Live by a goal to nil as England win possession and send the ball all the way back to Mary Earps. Here now is Lucy Bronze, lifted over the halfway line but headed away by Brooks before it can reach Chloe Kelly. Van der Donk plays it against Bronze, goes down. Georgia Stanway plays it forward, gets a little nick off a Dutch player, and it will be an England throw as Jackie Groenen walks up to the halfway line for the Dutch. As their manager Andreas Jonker, who really celebrated that Lynette Billenstein goal, is out on his technical area, ushering Jackie Groenen back onto the field of play. As England come down the left-hand side and work the ball back to Niamh Charles. In field now to Kira Walsh. Bit of possession for England, and that is welcome, something they haven't really enjoyed since Lynette Billenstein gave the Dutch the lead early on. As Lucy Bronze now picks it up over the halfway line. 26 minutes played, England 0, Netherlands 1 in the Women's Nations League here on 5 Live. Georgia Stanway plays it to Lucy Bronze, who lays it off to Chloe Kelly down the right hand side, pulls the ball in, not the best delivery, and Spitzer can play it down to Dominique Janssen, who clears up towards halfway. Good anticipation by Jess Carter. Lucy Bronze picks it up now for England, out to the right hand side, and Chloe Kelly in this game that England have to win. They're trailing by a goal to nil, but that's good work by Stanway inside the area, tries the little chip, it's blocked away by Dominique Janssen and cleared up by Jackie Groenen. Jess Carter again comes and steps into the Dutch half and plays the ball forward, but Groenen is there and will clear long. It's headed away by Alex Greenwood though before it can reach Beerenstein. Lovely little back heel by Esme Brooks there, playing at wing back to keep possession for the Dutch, but then she gives the ball straight to Georgia Stanway. Better this from England, the Dutch losing their way slightly as Walsh plays it forward. Here is Lauren James, central position, midway through the Netherlands half, out to the left-hand side, and Niamh Charles. Back to Lauren James once more, well marshalled by Daniela van der Donk, and in field now to Fran Kirby, who's been quiet so far, Karen.
Yeah, she has. I was just thinking that myself in terms of she needs to just link up the play a bit more, just like Lauren James has been doing.
Out to the right-hand side, coming in, good sustained spell of pressure and possession. Can they make something of it? No, Chloe Kelly loses the ball and Esme Brooks will pick it up and send it back to Sharida Spitzer. And the Netherlands just slow the play down. Let's head to Preston against QPR in the Championship. Ellen Ellard.
Yeah, Preston 0, QPR 0. A cautious start here. Paul Smith has had a weak shot on goal, but a regulation save for Freddie Woodman in the Preston goal. Dwayne Holmes down the other end looked to set up a good chance for Ched Evans, but well collected by the QPR keeper. Still 0-0 here.
Thank you, Ellen. Here at Wembley, England 0, Netherlands 1 in the Women's Nations League. Here is Dominique Janssen, sends it all the way back to Daphne van Domselaar. A reminder, it is still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland elsewhere in this group. That game is approaching half-time as Niamh Charles heads the ball out of play over on the far side, and the Dutch have a throw. Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, there's an element of directness as well from this Dutch side in terms of, understanding how to manage the game and not taking risks. You can see that the Lionesses are kind of on their way back into the ascendancy here, being able to string together a few passes and kind of get some confidence back in terms of going forward.
The Dutch with the ball just outside their own penalty area. Lauren Hemp putting the press on. Van Domselaar takes a touch and clears out to this left-hand side. It's half-time in the Women's Nations League between Wales and Iceland. Wales losing by a goal to nil. As England come forward, picking up the ball just outside the Dutch penalty area. Here's Chloe Kelly. Slows the play down for an instant and then lays it off to Georgia Stanway. Just a little bit too strong for Stanway there, and her number 8 counterpart, Sharida Spitzer, comes and takes charge for the Dutch, and Dijkstra will now bring it forward, easing away from Lauren Hemp. Earlier, Northern Ireland beat Albania 4-0 to keep alive their hopes of promotion to League A. As the ball goes out of play for a throw to the Netherlands. Over on the far side, and Serena Wiegman still stands, arms clasped behind her back in that dotted white technical area. The Netherlands in possession. Once more, Jackie Groningen though dispossessed, and can England take advantage? Kirby plays it forward to Hemp. The Dutch getting the orange shirts back quickly as Niamh Charles plays it out to the left-hand side, and Lauren James, poor ball from James, easily picked up in the centre of the park by Daniela van der Donk, and now Lieke Martens will send it back to Sherida Spitzer, forward to van der Donk once more, and now back to Dijkstra. And the difference between the first 10 minutes and since the Netherlands scored that goal is remarkable as they win the throw over on the far side. You know, they've already beaten England once in this Nations League campaign, 90th minute winner in Utrecht. They were nowhere near it in the first 10 minutes, but that goal from Nanette Berenstain completely against the run of play. And suddenly they're starting to play like the Dutch side we know.
It certainly lifted this Dutch team in particular. I think, especially in the midfield, they're just doing such a good job in overloading the Lionesses, particularly on that far side over on the right.
And here they come down the right-hand side once again. Lieke Martens, was she fouled there by Alex Greenwood? Yes, she was. Greenwood limps away. Free kick to the Netherlands, just outside the penalty area, and yellow card as well for England's Alex Greenwood.
And it looks like she just leaves a bit of a trailing leg there, Vicky, Alex Greenwood. And I mean, it's clever, isn't it, from the Dutch attack in terms of understanding how to draw that foul. I mean, Palova's a fantastic 1v1 attacker as well. She really fancies those 1v1 duels. And it's a bit lazy defending from Alex Greenwood. Could she have done better in terms of moving her body to get across and intercept the path of the Victoria Palova? But yeah, ends up going in the book instead.
So free kick to the Dutch to be taken by their set-piece specialist, the captain, Sherida Spitzer. She's over this free kick on the wide right-hand side, just about level with the edge of the penalty area. Swings the ball in right-footed, it's poor, it's over the bar. And the goal kick is cheered by this packed Wembley. Sold over 75,000 tickets, and looking around at this stadium, we see a few sections of red seats, but it can't be far off that. Let's head back to the FA Cup. York against Wigan in the second round. Charlie Slater.
Half an hour gone, still 0-0 here, but Wigan probably should be in front. Stephen Humphreys, lovely turn in the middle of the midfield, left the entire York midfield for dead, and then took it into the box, drew a good save out of the York keeper, David Stockdale. Still foggy, still freezing, still 0-0.
Van Donselaar clears away for the Netherlands, up towards Berenstain, their goal scorer on the halfway line, misses her header. Greenwood will send it to Jess Carter, who clears over the halfway line, kneed down by Spitzer, and then steered back safely to Dominique Janssen, who in turn plays it back to Daphne Van Donselaar. Well, playing Lauren Hemp through the centre in the first 10 minutes looked as though it was working well, but she does have options on the bench, Serena Wiegman, in terms of out-and-out forwards, Alessia Russo and Rachel Daly amongst those, although of course Rachel Daly can play pretty much any position, but certainly that's where she is for Aston Villa these days, as the Netherlands win the throw on this near side. How long, on 33 minutes, how long do you wait if you're Wiegman to change this?
Well, I think there's two questions in there to answer. I think, will she change it that quickly? And well, I certainly would change it probably a little bit quicker than she will. I just think Hempo is adding so much more in terms of her attack on the wing and the crosses into the area.
Ball over the top, flag goes up against Berenstain. No VAR here, so that will stand. We'll wait to see a replay, because if that flag stayed down, Berenstain again had got behind Jess Carter, and she was in one-on-one with Mary Earps.
Yeah, I mean, how many warning signs do you need? Really, need to stop the ball at service, but get across that run of Berenstain and really slow her down.
Out to the right-hand side go England and Lucy Bonds. England 0, Netherlands 1. Wembley has not been dampened. The support is still here. Sweet Caroline being played by the England band. England need to draw on this atmosphere inside the stadium. They have to win this game. They're losing by a goal to 0, and Berenstein's picked it up inside the area. Mary Earps can't keep it out. She punches the ground in frustration because Berenstein has her second. The Netherlands have their second. And England and Team GB's Olympic dream now is hanging by a thread here at Wembley. It's England 0, Netherlands 2.
I'm absolutely devastated for Mary Earps here, but I mean, it was a shambles from before it even got to Mary, to be honest. Bouncing ball in the area, just outside the area, not dealt with by Jess Carter. Falls to Berenstein, and I really can't explain it myself, but takes a shot and it just trickles to the side of Mary Earps and just kind of goes through her hands. It's not really well defended by Alex Greenwood, who forces Berenstein inside instead of outside, and the ball and the shot from Berenstein just goes into the near side, just towards, and Mary Earps almost like slightly dives backwards, can't really get her hands out to it, and it just agonizingly goes underneath her hands into the goal, essentially, into the right post.
It's heartbreaking for England, and I can hear the pain in your voice, Karen Bardsley, as someone who knows Mary Earps so well, as a former England and Team GB goalkeeper yourself. England get us back underway. They have the ball on this right-hand side. She's got to keep that out, Earps, a keeper of her quality. FIFA best goalkeeper 2022, Golden Glove winner at the World Cup.
I'm devastated for her, to be honest. I think like that. I know exactly how much that's going to annoy her and how painful that is. And I think sometimes, it's certainly happened to me in the past, but the easy ones are often your own doing, because you're thinking about what's going to happen next. Are you going to distribute? Where is the ball going to go? But yeah, it was one of those things where Alex Greenwood probably could have shown her wider, made the angle a bit more narrow for Mary Earps, but instead Berenstein comes inside, opens up the goal, and then she can really go anywhere she likes. But the cross across Mary Earps, didn't really see a push from her, didn't really look like she was quite prepared for it, and unfortunately just quite didn't get her hands down quick enough to get the ball out.
Wembley shocked, Wembley stunned, Wembley silenced. Here is Van der Donk as the Dutch lead by 2-0 in a match England must win. Just under 9 minutes to play in this first half, and England have given the ball away again, but Stanway picks it up and drives forward towards the Dutch penalty area. Can they find an immediate response and pull a goal back as Chloe Kelly drives just wide of that far post with Van Domselaar on the stretch?
That's a lovely effort from Chloe Kelly, and just a bit wide, but Van Domselaar was certainly concerned as she was fully stretched and watched that go just wide. But listen, it's a good response from England. Chloe Kelly is more than happy to continue having opportunities on goal, and this is the attitude that England need to show. They need to show the resilience and the character here, the determination to try and get a result.
Close from Kelly, the Wembley heroine of the European Championship final. But close is not enough for England. They need to find a way to be clinical. They need to find 3 goals. They have to win this match. Otherwise, Team GB's Olympic dream is over. It is still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland. That is now half-time. And we're at the stage now, Karen, where the Olympics is still the primary focus, but we have to start thinking about this European qualification as well, because if Belgium win tonight with this scoreline, England are finishing 3rd, and they're into the playoffs to even stay in League A for the European qualification for 2025. Long way to go yet. England play the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Here is Lauren Hemp, plays it back to Lucy Bronze. Out to the right-hand side, and Chloe Kelly as they look to get a goal back before half-time here on 5 Live. Kelly's ball into the area, headed away by Spitzer. Jackie Cronin misses a clearance on the edge of the area. Picked up on that far side by Charles, and now Lauren James, he goes for the curler once again. It's straight down the throat of Daphne Van Domselaar.
Yeah, and the quality like that certainly isn't going to beat a goalkeeper like Daphne Van Domselaar. It's simply just a shot from the edge of the area that really is not a high opportunity chance for this England side. I think they need to be a bit more patient, don't need to snatch at the opportunities, and really just be confident and back yourself in your build-up.
Here is Mary Earps, closed down by Billenstein, who's on a hat-trick for the Dutch. Cleared up towards halfway, and Frank Kirby will pick it up, sends it out to the left-hand side, and Niamh Charles, who just slows the play down. And now Greenwood sends it back to Earps once more, and the Dutch are closing down with the orange shirts, but Earps steals with it, clears once again towards the halfway line, but Hemp was coming back from an offside position, and it will be a free kick to the Netherlands just inside the England half. Hemp starting that run from inside the Dutch half, which is why it is offside. England still need to find this response, Karen.
Yeah, no, I mean, speaking of response, I feel like I'm speechless right now. I really couldn't. I'm quite shocked in terms of what I'm seeing. It's just, I don't want to be the doom scrolling person, but like flipping through things that I'm seeing on the pitch in my mind, it's just not good enough.
Alex Greenwood just about gets the better of Nanette Beerenstein there, and Georgia Stanway will pick it up once more. Here is Kira Walsh, plays the ball long forward to Lauren Hemp. Dominic Janssen can't get there, and Hemp is on the ball for England, right hand side of the penalty area. James is making the run, but James is the only white shirt inside the penalty area because Chloe Kelly's out on this wide right as well. England though playing their way towards the box. Shot by Stanway is blocked inside the area, cleared away by Van der Donk. Roord will help it back to Spitzer, who loops it up towards halfway. Good anticipation again from Jess Carter, who plays it forward to Lucy Bronze. 5 minutes plus added time to play. England 0, Netherlands 2 in this must-win match in the Women's Nations League for England. Kira Walsh plays it forward, Lucy Bronze down, fouled by the former Arsenal defender Dominic Janssen, and England have a set piece.
It's a good tackle and a clever tackle from Dominic Janssen there in terms of slowing down the momentum down this near side that England were building. But listen, you can see the numbers of these, fluorescent orange shirts in front of us here, Vicky. There'll be some resolute defending for the next 5 minutes.
How important is it for England to get a goal back before half-time?
It's crucial, really. It really is. Get the momentum back on their side.
Greenwood with the free kick. Can they do it here? Swung in left-footed, and the header is just past the post on the far side. Lucy Bronze has her head in her hands. The ball is behind for a Netherlands goal kick.
I think managing the anxiety and managing sort of this situation is going to be really, really important for the Lionesses. Obviously, they're all going to want to be winning. They're all going to want to have opportunities on goal, but you have to rely on getting the good habits right, focusing on shifting the defense, creating those opportunities in the holes. Get Lauren Hemp pinning the centre backs and creating space for Fran Kirby.
And it's Kirby on the ball who wins the free kick just inside the Dutch half. But this is an England side who haven't lost a competitive home game since June 2005, when they lost 1-0 to Sweden at a major tournament in Euro 2005. So in terms of qualifiers, it just doesn't happen for England. However, the caveat to that is this new Nations League format. We knew it would provide a test. Netherlands, Belgium, Scotland. It's been so easy for England and the top nations in qualification campaigns for the Euros and for the World Cup for so long. That's why they changed it to this Nations League format, and it could really cost them here. Olympic qualification for Team GB, they're the nominated home nation, is hanging by a thread. Can England get a goal back before half-time to galvanise them in this game? Stanway trying to keep the ball away from Jill Roord, can't do so. Roord goes down, no free kick given, but the Dutch had possession, and it's played forward by Van der Donk to Lieke Martens. He's trying to play Beerenstein in behind again. Mary Earps anticipates well, comes out of a penalty area, but under pressure from Beerenstein can only play the ball out of play to safety, and it's a Dutch throw. The Netherlands who lead by 2-0.
I think that decision by Mary Earps to play it out says it all really about the options that she sees in front of her. There's no one available, there's no outlet pass, and I think that's been a consistent theme so far since that Dutch first goal.
Here is Kira Walsh for the Lionesses. Picks the ball up once more and spreads it out to this right-hand side, and Lauren Hemp, who's now advancing towards the penalty area but can't get past Dominique Janssen, and plays the ball in field towards Daniela van der Donk. And if you're the Dutch manager down there, Karen Andries Jonker, you will be absolutely delighted. Bar the first 10 minutes when they were really under the cosh. Apart from that, this first half has gone absolutely perfectly for them.
No, it certainly has. I mean, Lynette Bernstein, or Stein actually, loves Wembley so much. I think she certainly thrives in these big environments, and especially when she's been given space to run into and behind the back line.
Netherlands in possession midway through their own half. Here is Dominique Janssen. England at the moment just can't get near the Dutch. These are the reigning European champions. This is a side that finished runners-up at the World Cup just a few months ago. But the Olympics is pretty much as big a tournament as those two, and it looks as though Team GB, and many of these Lionesses would have been part of it, won't be there unless England can find one of their greatest performances under Sarina Wiegman in the second half, because we're ticking towards half-time and they trail the Dutch in this must-win game by 2-0. And the huge frustration, Karen, as Van Domselaar has it back in her own penalty area, Scotland are doing their bit to help England. Some of those Scotland players would want to be part of that Team GB squad and would be part of that Team GB squad. England need Belgium to drop points. Belgium are being held 1-1 by Scotland, but England aren't holding their end up of the bargain.
No, they're certainly not. And it's not often that the Scottish will do something for the English, is it? But they are doing so in this moment in time. But yeah, the performance really needs to improve from this Lioness side to have any hope of qualifying for the Olympics this summer.
They've got a win for starters here tonight. They're losing by 2-0 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Lucy Bronze plays it out to the right-hand side, and Chloe Kelly back in field now to Ciara Walsh. Scotland, of course, wanting to win on their own account tonight. If they don't beat Belgium, Scotland, currently 1-1 at half-time, they will be relegated to League B for the European qualifiers, which would mean they cannot qualify automatically for Euro 2025. The Dutch have another player down on this near side as we enter 2 minutes of added time. I'm not sure who is more shell-shocked, Karen, but okay, while the Netherlands receive treatment, Dominic Janssen it is who is down. Has this performance been coming in some ways for England?
I knew you were gonna say this.
Well, you've had time to think about it and you can't duck it then. We have seen them lose to the Netherlands, yes, 90th minute goal. We've seen them lose away to Belgium. They've only lost 4 games during Sarina Wiegman's entire tenure in 43 matches, but 3 of them have been in the last 5. Yes, one was a World Cup final to Spain, but then they've lost to the Netherlands, they've lost to Belgium. As England get play back underway, and Dominic Janssen currently is still off the pitch having received treatment. Has this performance been coming?
Yeah, I'm afraid it has, Vicky. I think you've hit the nail on the head, and it's been coming even before, I think, this Nations League campaign. We saw it in the World Cup.
Can they pick it up again, England, though, before half-time? Here is Lauren James. Hear the excitement when she gets on the ball. Plays it into the area. Good delivery. Headed away by Van der Donk. Brooks helps it on. Brought down by Bronze. Chests it down. Volley by Kirby. Blocked away and cleared up towards halfway. Jess Carter just easing Beerenstein out of the way there as Beerenstein wins the header. Alex Greenwood picks it up and sends it out to the left-hand side. England looking to finish this half strongly and get a goal back here on 5 Live. Neve Charles, though. Poor final touch. Ball goes straight out of play, and you can sense it. You said the word earlier, Karen Bardsley. Anxiety, tension, nerves. It's all on display at the moment from England. They know what's at stake here.
Yeah, I've been in this situation before where you want something so much and you just don't really get the rub of the green. The ball just doesn't seem to fall your way, and everything the opposition does, it just seems to work out for them, and that just seems like one of those evenings tonight. But I certainly didn't feel like this before the game started. I thought, especially the first 10 minutes, that the Lionesses were exceptional, but that has seemed to be a common theme so far. But going back to your initial question a few moments ago, this has certainly not been... there have been warning signs, haven't there, throughout the course of the entire World Cup, the start of the Nations League, about really inconsistent performances and perhaps Sarina Wiegman not knowing her fullest, strongest squad.
Or even formation as well. It is the 4 at the back, but they've chopped between 3 and 4 as Dijkstra plays it back to Van Domselaar. And I think the most concerning thing for Lionesses fans listening to us is the lack of response that we've seen from England. They trail by 2-0. The Netherlands have hit the bar through Roord as well. England have had a couple of chances at the other end, but haven't really seriously managed to test Daphne Van Domselaar. They need 3 goals, England, as the half-time whistle goes, and England are facing one of the biggest challenges under Sarina Wiegman. They trail by 2-0. They need an almighty second half, otherwise their hopes of winning this Nations League group and Team GB's hopes of going to the Olympics next summer are over. Karen Bardsley.
Yeah, it's been I hate this word, but I kind of like it at the same time, a very turgid sort of defending performance tonight, something that we're definitely not used to seeing from Sarina Wiegman's England side. So lots to sort out at halftime, and really need to add another dimension going forward as well.
They had the options on the bench of Alessia Russo, of Rachel Daly, Beth Mead as well, back in the squad for the first time in over a year after recovering from her ACL injury, as Mary Earps walks off straight down the tunnel. Her error for the second goal, the shot from Beerenstein, she really could have kept out. But all round, the defending from England has been poor, and same old story, they have not been clinical at the other ends. They really have it all to do in this second half. Here at Wembley, half-time, England 0, Netherlands 2.
And Karen, if we go through the 2 goals, it's quite telling when you look at the stats for that first half for the Netherlands. 2 shots on target, 2 goals. That's the kind of the stats we were playing with in that first 10 minutes, where England were all over them, and then it seemed like one moment of composure totally undid the good work that England had put in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Katie. I think England have had opportunities, and that's been a common theme as well, as obviously not being able to capitalize. But you're absolutely right. Some really, unusual dispossession in certain areas, of the likes of Keira Walsh being dispossessed for, I believe, the build up to the second goal. But the things that we're not used to seeing from Jess Carter in terms of like a strategic approach to getting across an attacker in terms of slowing the run down. The mistakes kind of all over, the lack of getting up to the ball, the spaces are getting so big. But yeah, Lynette Bernstein absolutely loves playing at Wembley, and what a clinical finisher she's been tonight. She got the second as well. Mary Earps was slapping the turf with frustration after that. She should have done better as the ball dribbled behind her. She should have got a hand to that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's happened to me before in training and in matches where the ones that kind of feel easier than perhaps something that really, really stretches you actually ends up being something that becomes, a downfall or a mistake. But yeah, absolutely, she should have done better. There was an opportunity there, I think, for her to move her feet or just simply extend a little bit more. And whether it was mistiming or what, the ball just either went slightly underneath or just through her hands as well. So she'll be disappointed. But listen, this is a huge moment. We talked about the camaraderie at the top of the show, didn't we, of this team. This is massive for everyone to get behind each other and really go, right, girls, like we need to put this right. What are the adjustments that we need making? Serena will know the substitutions that she needs to do, the formations that need changing in terms of how to be more productive going forward. But really, you need to shore up that defence. And probably important to say that the crowd really haven't lost hope. They have been behind every attacking move that England have given them in that first half. So at half-time, it is the England 0, Netherlands 2. Over in Belgium, it is Belgium 1, Scotland 1. So as Vicky was saying, Scotland holding up their end of the bargain. What are we going to see Serena Wiegman do? Perhaps bringing on the likes of Alessia Russo, Beth Mead, we shall see. But you've been getting in touch as well and giving your thoughts. Peter in Durham, there seems to be a fundamental problem in England at the moment where we aren't producing any quality defenders. Both the men's and women's teams, he's saying, being seriously hampered by it. We got Stewart in Wokingham as well. I don't know why this result would surprise anyone. England were very lucky to be World Cup runners-up, and sides know we can't defend as a team and are really poor finishers when attacking. So keep your thoughts coming into us here at 5 Live Sports. Let's go around some of the other games going on this evening. It is half-time in the FA Cup. York City against Wigan Athletic, being watched by Charlie Slater.
Yeah, it's 0-0. The League One side should be in front, though. Stephen Humphreys has gone close, and Callum Lang squandered 2 excellent chances around the half-hour mark. But look, York is still in this. I spoke to their manager, Neil Ardley, before the game. He told me the whole plan, keep it tight for as long as possible, stifle the game. Well, so far so good. They've had a couple of long-range efforts themselves. They've had a penalty shout waved away. It is still goalless in the freezing fog in York.
Charlie, thank you. Elsewhere as well in the FA Cup, Notts County 1, Shrewsbury Town 1. That game also at half-time. Let's head to the Championship then. Preston North End up against strugglers QPR. Ellen Ellard watching.
Yeah, 37 minutes played here, still 0-0 Deepdale with the look of an ice rink in places. So a slow first half so far. Preston at times have tried to pick up the pace with bursts forward from Brown and Keane. Ched Evans has had a good chance from a corner, but still 0-0 here.
Ellen, thank you. Now, coming up, we're going to hear from Newcastle's Jacob Murphy. That's ahead of their game with Manchester United tomorrow. He's the guest on the latest Friday Football Social on the Football Daily podcast. That's with Darren Fletcher and Don Hutchinson. We're also going to get the latest from our tennis correspondent, Russell Fuller. This is on Rafa Nadal's return from injury ahead of his big farewell tour next year. But that will be all after the latest 5 Live News with Giuliano Cassidy.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says more than 178 people have been killed in the territory since Israel resumed its military operations this morning. Israel says its warplanes have struck more than 200 targets. The Palestinian Red Crescent says Israel has blocked all aid deliveries to Gaza from Egypt. Here's our international editor, Jeremy Bowen.
What the Americans have said is that the way that they fought in northern Gaza before the ceasefire, where essentially they turned the place into a wasteland, they forced out something approaching 1 million civilians to move to the south. The Americans have said they can't do it like that in the south.
Matt Hancock has told the COVID inquiry that the third lockdown could have been avoided if the government had acted sooner. In his second day of evidence, the former Health Secretary said Rishi Sunak, who was Chancellor at the time, would have put enormous pressure on then Prime Minister Boris Johnson not to close everything down again. More than 130 world leaders have reached a major agreement on the future of food and farming on the second day of the COP28 climate summit in Dubai. It's the first time the annual gathering has officially recognised the impact of food production on global warming. And rail passengers are being warned to expect disruption after members of the ASLEF union began a new round of industrial action. An overtime ban will be in force until a week tomorrow, with a series of strikes over the next week.
BBC 5 Live.
The voice of sport. Coming up this Sunday from midday. Live and exclusive on 5 Live Premier League Sunday.
Alexander-Arnold scores! Palini on the half volley, finds the bottom left-hand corner.
Liverpool take on Fulham.
Finds Haaland, and he scored! Latilta! Into the back of the net, Tottenham lead.
And Manchester City versus Tottenham. 5 Live Premier League Sunday.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Welcome back to Wembley Stadium. You're listening to 5 Live Sport with me, Katie Smith, where it is half-time in England's must-win Nations League match, and they have got a mountain of a second half to climb if they are to turn this around. Currently England 0, Netherlands 2. We are going to switch the focus, though, for the next couple of minutes to tennis, because Rafa Nadal says he's going to be fit to start his farewell season in Brisbane next month. Earlier, I spoke with our tennis correspondent, Russell Filler, who told us how competitive the 22-time Grand Slam champion can be.
Yes, he said it's going to be very probably his final year, but he's 37 years of age, Katie, so I think the fact that he thinks now on the first day of December that he's going to be on the start line in Brisbane in 4 or 5 weeks' time is excellent news. I'm sure he'll feel he can be competitive. I think if we're going to see Nadal challenging for titles again, that's more likely to come later in the year, especially on the clay courts. And let's remember that the Olympics is being staged at Roland Garros next year as well. So a chance perhaps to compete well at both the French Open and the Olympics on clay. But it's just great to see him there, because the surgery in June, the hip surgery, was an attempt to continue his career. He's not played since losing to Mackenzie McDonald in the first round of the Australian Open in January. His ranking is 633, but he can use a special ranking. Not that he'll need to, because he'll have wild cards offered galore. Just great to see him back in Brisbane.
Now, slightly switching the focus, Russell, because tennis has been, I guess you'd say, breaking new ground in Saudi Arabia this week as it hosts the next-gen ATP finals. An agreement's also close for the women's end-of-season tour finals to be held there going forward. Now, we've talked about this so many times, haven't we? Clear issues there in the country around women's rights, gay rights as well. So why are the WTA going to be signing off on this?
Well, there's a strong financial element. There's no question about that. They lost $31 million in the last 2 financial years combined. The deal is not done yet, but we are moving very much in that direction, and it could be sorted potentially before Christmas. I think they would also see it as a chance to grow the game in a new country. They want a long-term home for the WTA finals. The last 2 years at short notice in Fort Worth in Texas and then in Cancun. The first was very poorly attended. The second was fairly shambolic, with the venue not being ready and the weather particularly unkind. But they don't need to go to Saudi to find a permanent home. Other cities would be interested. They want to go there because they want a long-term relationship with the Saudis, because they have very, very deep pockets. But there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered, such as for those players who are gay, not always openly, who may well qualify for singles and doubles at the WTA finals in future years. Can they guarantee their safety? Can the WTA say you're going to be safe? Can Saudi Arabia say you're going to be safe?
And then for the sport itself, you look at, I guess, golf as an example of Saudi money proving controversial, proving divisive. We've had the Live Breakaway Tour causing all sorts of problems throughout the past year, Russell. Having spoken to the president of Saudi Tennis then, on what kind of scale are their plans for the sport going forwards?
they want to stage a number of big events. The conversation was with Arij Al-Mutabagani, who's quite a pioneer. She was the first woman ever elected to run a Saudi sports federation. She's been running Saudi tennis for 2 years now. She would love there to be an ATP Masters Series event. So would the ATP. I think it's just a question of where we find a home for them in the calendar. The WTA finals, I think they're very optimistic about. But I did ask her what would happen if you don't get your way, you don't get to stage these events. Could we see a live-style tennis tour? And Arij Al-Mutabagani's answer was, well, I don't think we have to do that because we're in a very good position with the tours. But she wouldn't rule it out if things don't work out the way they envisage.
Russell Fuller, our tennis correspondent there, and there is a special programme looking at tennis and Saudi Arabia. That's coming up 9:30 p.m. on Monday evening here on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds. We are live at Wembley Stadium, a slightly shocked stadium. It is England 0, Netherlands 2. Mary Earp's already back out from the dressing room, having words with one of the coaches at the moment at the side of the field. As ever though, 5 Live Sport is the place to be for your Premier League action across the weekend to come. Leaders Arsenal host Wolves. That is our Saturday commentary game at 3 o'clock. We'll also bring you Nottingham Forest against Everton in the 5:30 kickoff. And on 5 Live Premier League Sunday, Liverpool against Fulham is followed by Manchester City up against Tottenham. Now, there's a special Football Daily podcast out now. It's with Darren Fletcher speaking to Newcastle's Jacob Murphy, talking about their season so far and Newcastle's newest prodigy, Lewis Miley.
He's a serious talent. He started training with us last year, 16 at the time. The boy's like a sponge. Anything you throw at him, he just absorbs it. Loves his football. The main thing is he just loves learning. Having Eddie as the mentor, he is getting a brilliant football education. But it's what he's doing with that knowledge. He's applying it straight away, and he's finding ways what work for him. So yeah, he's done that really well. And then to hold your own against a team like Paris Saint-Germain, he's levels, and everyone's really proud of him at the club. Quiet boy, but very humble, and he will keep his feet on the ground, and then just keep progressing from there.
It was fascinating today because Eddie was asked about him at the press conference, and a lot of times managers would be reluctant to speak about a young player for fear of it affecting them. And when he was asked the question today, he was quite happy to answer it. And he made the point. He said, because of the kind of person he is, I'm okay to speak about it because he has a wonderful perspective of life as well as a wonderful perspective of the game. So I know that I can say things without it affecting him. That's so rare in a kid of that age because it must be such a, I don't know, I can't imagine what I would have been like if I was in that position at 17. I've got no idea, but for the manager to say that, it shows just how much trust and confidence and belief he's got in him as a person, let alone a footballer, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he is super mature for his age. Like, you would think he is a lot older than what he is. But yeah, no, it is very rare to see that because, once the media start talking, it is really easy now to get carried away, start believing your own hype and stuff like that. But I think we've got a good group that kind of let him know that that's probably not going to fly here if he was to go down that route. I don't think he ever will, but if he were to, we've got a good dressing room, good experienced dressing room, which will say to them, cut that out, etc., etc. So yeah, he's not going to go down that route, and he'll just keep flying.
Plenty more from Jacob Murphy then on the latest Football Daily podcast. Let's quickly head back to the York Barbican where the quarterfinals of the UK Snooker Championship continue. Jamie Broughton watching.
And Judd Trump is closing in on victories, now 4-0 up against Mark Selby. On the other table, it's tied at 2 frames all between Ding Junhui and Mark Williams. 6 is the target to join Ronnie O'Sullivan and Hossein Vafaye in the semi-finals tomorrow.
Jamie, thank you very much. It is still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland in the Women's Nations League. But our focus, of course, here at Wembley Stadium, where we are just kicking off in the second half. We're going to join our commentary team of former Lionesses goalkeeper Karen Bardsley, our commentator Vicky Sparks, where we've had a big change from Serena Wiegman.
We have Beth Mead is on for her first England appearance in over a year after recovering from that ACL injury. She replaces Chloe Kelly, and the Dutch have made a change as well. Damaris Eguirola is on for Jackie Groenen, the former Manchester United player who picked up a knock late on in the first half. as the Netherlands clear away at the back, kicking from left to right in this second half. All in bright orange, England in the white shirts, the navy shorts and the white socks. So those two changes, one apiece for either side at the start of this second half. Arguably, Karen Barnsley, one of the biggest second halves of Serena Wiegmann's reign as England manager. England trail by 2-0. They have to win this match to keep Team GB's hopes of qualifying for the Olympics alive, and they're looking to get a goal back early on. Lauren James inside the penalty area, can't find Niamh Charles once again, and the Dutch will take the ball down to the corner flag with their captain Sherida Spitzer, who does really well, plays it off Niamh Charles, bounces off the corner flag and behind for a Netherlands goal kick.
Yeah, it's great to see Beth Mead coming on. Obviously she'll be dying to kind of make an impression on this game, and I think she is probably exactly what it needs. We saw a lack of composure in front of goal. I think a lot of players were snatching at opportunities in front of goal, but Beth Mead, we've seen her do it before. Seen her do it against West Ham and the WSL more recently in terms of her composure, offsetting defenders' balance by her change of direction and her disguise going forward. So excellent substitution in my opinion.
So Van Domselaar takes the goal kick for the Netherlands, headed forward by Georgia Stanway, and now Lauren James picks it up, left hand side, swings the ball in, it flashes across the 6-yard box, brought down and cleared away by Esme Brooks for the Dutch, brought down by Niamh Charles now for England, who plays it back to Alex Greenwood. England with Mary Earps in goal, the back four of Bronze, Carter, Greenwood and Charles, ahead of them Stanway and Walsh, and now with Mead, Kirby and James supporting Lauren Hemp up top. A reminder, Alessia Russo dropped for this game. She is on the bench, as is Rachel Daly, as England have possession midway through their own half with Lucy Bronze. We'll be heading to the championship shortly, but Fran Kirby is over the halfway line for England, who need 3 goals in this second half against the Dutch in this must-win match in the Women's Nations League here on 5 Live. Here is Niamh Charles, a couple of step-overs, plays it forward, looking for her Chelsea teammate Fran Kirby, who almost gets the better of Daniela van der Donk, but the ball will spin through to Daphne Van Domselaar. So let's head to the championship half-time. Preston QPR, Ellen Ellard.
Yeah, Preston 0, QPR 0. Cautious first half from both sides with difficult conditions underfoot. Preston had the better of the early chances, but QPR with their best spell not long before half-time. Chris Willock able to wriggle free of his markers on the edge of the area to fire a shot wide. At half-time, Preston 0, QPR 0.
Thanks, Ellen. It is still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland in the other Nations League group. England need Belgium to drop points. That is good news for England, but it means nothing if England don't win here tonight at Wembley and they trail by 2-0. Lauren James is dispossessed. Jill Roord has limped away from that challenge and gone down. It's gone out of play for a throw to England, but the referee has just told Niamh Charles to wait as she's checking on the fitness of Jill Roord, but the Manchester City midfielder is fine. And Niamh Charles will take this throw for England. Forward to Lauren James, who plays it back to Charles. In field now to Fran Kirby. Laid off now by Georgia Stanway. Now Kira Walsh. Out to the right-hand side and Lucy Bronze. Good start to this second half for England. It was a good start to the first half, though. But as soon as Berenstein scored that goal for the Dutch, England was second best throughout the first half. Roord hit the bar for the Dutch. Berenstein got a second. England need to find an almighty response in this second period. They have the ball over on the far side with Lucy Bronze. Plays it in field to Lauren Hemp. Switches the play now to the left-hand side and Niamh Charles. Space for James and Charles can find her. Early ball forward, though, is cut out of the back by the Dutch. And the ball goes out of play for a throw to England, which Alex Greenwood would take. The Netherlands with Van Domselaar in goal. The back three of Spitzer, Janssen and Dijkstra. Palova, Egirola now, Roord, Van der Donk and Brooks in the midfield with Berenstein and Nika Martins up front as the ball is all the way back with Mary Earps. As a goalkeeper, Karen, at half-time, how do you get a mistake out of your head? Because it was a mistake from Mary Earps for the second goal from Berenstein. Should have saved it and didn't manage to do so.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate mistake, but you're absolutely right. It was a shot that really should have been more routine for Mary Earps, but I was speaking about this at halftime as well. It's one of those things that you shouldn't be thinking about. You want to get it out of your head as fast as possible, but it's something that it's really hard to shake off from a psychological standpoint. So I imagine she'll be dying to get involved and make a big save to kind of, have a clean sheet, if you will, and a fresh start.
Ball goes out of play for a throw over on the far side to the Netherlands, who know that as things stand, them winning 2-0 here at Wembley and Belgium drawing with Scotland, that's enough for the Netherlands to win the group tonight. So much at stake here for them as well. So far it is they who are rising to the occasion. The Orange Lionesses, as they're known. How can England's Lionesses respond in this second half? Here is Sharida Spitzer. There is still time. That has to be the key message for England. There is still time, but Berenstein is trying to put the pressure on again. Dealt well with by Carter that time. Through the centre, Berenstein went as the Netherlands have a player down and the referee stops play because it's a potential head injury. There are boos and jeers around Wembley, but it's fair decision from our Swedish referee, Lika Martins, involved in that collision there. And the play stops and the momentum just drains away a little for England, who, as we say, Karen, have started the second half well.
No, they have. They've certainly been able to retain possession a little bit better than they have in the second half. In the first half. But yeah, whether this is just like clever management from the Dutch, is there an element of recognition that the game's going to have to get stopped with a knock to the head, perhaps? Maybe that's just too much of a coincidence, but you can see that, Lucy Bronze has been giving a bit more freedom to come and join in on that far side and even invert a little bit more to try to connect the midfield a little bit more with Lauren Hemp and Beth Mead out wide. You just need to see, Fran Kirby just needs to get a bit more involved, I think, in this half than she was in the first half. But I'll tell you what, I'd really like to see Lauren James take this game by the scruff of the neck. I think this is a perfect opportunity for her to really get involved and stamp her authority on this game. I want to see more from her.
Lika Martins is back up to her feet and walks over to this near side. Looks as though she'll be ready to come back on. Let's head back to the FA Cup. York against Wigan. Charlie Slater.
Yeah, 6 minutes gone in the second half here, Vicky. Still goalless, still waiting for the game to really spark into life. But York's still very much alive in this. Their best stuff comes down the left-hand side from Thierry Latty Fairweather. But as I say, still waiting for that breakthrough. Heading for a replay as it stands, 0-0.
Thank you, Charlie. Netherlands in possession just outside their own penalty area as Lika Martins makes her way back onto the field, but it's stolen by Lucy Bronze, right-hand side. Kirby, edge of the area. Lauren James tries to play it through to Lauren Hemp, and Van Domselaar gets there on the edge of her 6-yard box. That is the best move we've seen from England all match.
It really is, and it says so much about Lauren James as well in terms of her football intelligence. Could she have cracked a shot there? Yes, probably. But I actually think that was the right option. It was just Lauren Hemp that didn't recognise she wasn't switched on to the pass. Oh, and what an opportunity there.
Good anticipation and interception by Jess Carter again to stop the Netherlands coming forward. Wales are now losing 2-0 to Iceland. That was a 7:15 kickoff. So it looks as though Wales will be relegated to League B this evening, which, again, as a reminder, would mean that they cannot qualify automatically for Euro 2025. That is the scenario, potentially facing England as well, were they to lose a playoff. As Fran Kirby plays the ball inside the penalty area, trying to steer it to Lauren Hemp. Palova will try and bring it down, but Hemp's stolen it. Hemp pulls it back. They just can't get the shot away at the moment. England laid off to Lauren James, who goes for the curler and curls over the angle of post and barbel. That's it with Lauren James, isn't it? It either goes top corner or it goes relatively high and wide. And I wonder if that's why, because she tried a few of those from that sort of area in the first half. Why in that chance we saw a couple of minutes ago, she didn't shoot, she tried to play in a teammate. That time she shot, but she's just not quite got her eye in this evening yet, Lauren James.
No, I'm afraid you're right. It's disappointing from Lauren James, but the opportunities are coming. I think you could be really, really happy with the way that Lauren Hemp continued with the press, the awareness from Fran Kirby to set Lauren James and bring her into the game, but yeah, just not the quality of execution that we're used to seeing from her.
Well, Serena Wiegmann is not normally the most animated manager, but she's delivering every kick down there on the touchline as Alex Greenwood slides in and dispossesses Lynette Berenstein for the Netherlands, who have a throw deep in England territory. 10 minutes of the second half gone, 35 to play, and already it feels like that clock is ticking. England 0, the Netherlands 2. England need 3 goals, otherwise Team GB's Olympic hopes are over. Here come the Netherlands once more. Berenstein picks it up just outside the penalty area, lays it off to Victoria Palova of Arsenal, who steers it back to Caitlin Dijkstra, and now Sharida Spitzer, the experienced captain, picks it up once more. Forward now by Eguirola. Now Palova once more under pressure, but they're playing some lovely stuff in tight congested areas, the Dutch. Forward now by Dijkstra. Here is Lika Martins, but the ball is short for Brooks. Huge roar from the Wembley crowd as Lucy Bronze wins it, but then overruns it, runs into Eguirola, who will send it out to the left hand side once more, and Lieke Martens as Brooks and Berenstein ahead of her. Martens, left-hand side of the penalty area, pulls it back once more as the Dutch continue to build down the left, but that ball won't be reached by Jill Ward over on the far side, and Keira Walsh will bring it away for England, who trail by 2-0 in this must-win match in the Women's Nations League here on 5 Live. What a run this is by Lauren Hemp, but she's run into congestion midway through the Dutch half, steers it back looking for Georgia Stanway, but very well anticipated in the centre by Danielle van der Donk. And the Netherlands will build again. England steal it back though. Here is Niamh Charles just inside the Netherlands half. Exchanges passes with Georgia Stanway. Now Lauren James has it on the left-hand side. You say you want to see James more involved. Do you want to see her in the 10?
I think personally her preferred position for me is more central. I think that's where she causes the most damage. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a shift from Lauren Hemp out wide.
Sharida Spitzer trying to get there ahead of Fran Kirby. Which way is this going to go? Ball's gone out of play. It will be a goal kick to the Netherlands, and Spitzer, a seasoned warrior, already back to her feet and jogging out of her penalty area. And just talking as well about that change that's been made, bringing Beth Mead on at half-time. We've not really seen her get on the ball yet. Is one change enough, or would you have made more if you were Serena Wiegman? Because England was so far off the pace once the Netherlands scored that opener.
Yeah, I think you're right. Obviously, Mido is going to have to, or Beth Mead is going to have to get played in a little bit more in terms of where the threat is coming from. But predominantly, you can see that England are preferring to come down this Dutch near side, England's left side. But yeah, in terms of more changes, I think it's more of I still think the right people are on the pitch in terms of, but the positions, I'm not sure if Lauren Hemp's strongest position is central.
Here goes that ball over the top for the Dutch once more, but Palova won't reach it, and it's out of play for a goal kick to England. I guess that's always the dilemma, isn't it, as a manager? Do you choose a formation that allows you to get all of your top players on the pitch, or do you choose your formation and then fill the holes, as it were, with the round pegs rather than the square ones? It worked for the first 10 minutes, but England didn't find the breakthrough that play deserved. Still, something needs to shift for the Lionesses. All those Olympic hopes for Team GB are over. They've got to win this game. They trail by 2-0. They're coming down the left-hand side. Here is Niamh Charles, plays it in field to Lauren James. Delivers the ball into the area. It's a good delivery, and the header is in on the far side. England have a goal back, and that is exactly what they needed. Lauren James providing the assist as Wembley erupts. It's a brilliant run in the centre by Georgia Stanway. She was completely lost by the Dutch defence, and the Olympic dream perhaps, just perhaps, is not over for Team GB just yet. England have hope, Britain have hope. England 1, Netherlands 2.
And again, it's really well done by Lucy Bronze getting forward and finding Lauren James in that central half space. But it's a lovely ball into the back post, where Georgia Stanway just does so well to backpedal into the space. She makes the connection. She doesn't do too much, doesn't try to flick it on, just puts it on target, back across the goal, and what a finish. And the noise from this Wembley Stadium, wow, that's just giving me goosebumps and giving me a little bit more hope, Vicky.
That's what they needed. And my, did they need it, the Lionesses. Now, can they build on this momentum? Lauren James dispossessed just outside the penalty area, and the Dutch play the ball forward, but it's intercepted once more by England. Here is Niamh Charles. Down the left-hand side she goes. Infield to Lauren James. Plays it back to Keira Walsh, and back to James once more. And this will be key, how the Dutch responds to England getting that goal back, because when the Netherlands took the lead early on, England couldn't find a response at all. Will the Dutch show the same tension, the same nerves that England showed in that first half? England still need 2 goals. They pulled one back here on 5 Live at Wembley. England 1, Netherlands 2 in the Women's Nations League. Here is Kirby. The Dutch all of a sudden dropping deep. Here is James, 25 yards out. Left-hand side, a little bit too much on it, but Charles will just keep it in. Her Chelsea counterpart pulls it to the edge of the area. Here's Beth Mead, urged to shoot. Ricochets inside the area. Hit with the drive! It's in off the post! And England have levelled things up against the Netherlands here at Wembley. And now there is belief swarming around this stadium. The Lionesses are 1 goal away from keeping that Olympic dream alive. It's England 2, Netherlands 2.
And I'm telling you, that's Beth Mead taking some initiative, having a shot. She's trying to make things happen. Deflection falls to Lauren Hemp, who just coolly slides it in with her left foot. I mean, it's fantastic. Again, the roof is just blown off the place, but this is Beth Mead taking the initiative again, having a touch, cutting inside, bit of a deflection and a lovely set. And Lauren Hemp finding the finish, left-footed, beyond the outstretched hands of the Dutch goalkeeper. Oh, I'm buzzing, Vicky. I'm so excited.
What a finish. What a feeling inside Wembley. And almost it's come out of nowhere. They've improved in this second half, England, marginally, but 2 quick-fire goals. And it's the Dutch's turn to be stunned here on BBC Radio 5 Live, and changes the foot, having levelled things up at 2-2. Esme Morgan is about to come on for England, and the Dutch are about to make a double change. We'll tell you about that in a moment, but a goal in the FA Cup. York of the National League against Wigan of League One, Charlie Slater.
And it's gone to Wigan. Stephen Humphreys emerging from the fog cloud. An error on the halfway line from the York defence. Humphreys runs away from them, skips around the keeper, sticks it into an empty net. 1-0 Wigan.
Here come England once more as they look to hit the front, and it's Beth Mead, picks it up just outside the centre circle. All the momentum with the Lionesses now. Down the right-hand side, here is Lauren Hemp. Infield to Stanway, the 2 goal scorers combining, and the disappointment echoes around Wembley as they lose that ball, and it's up towards Beerenstein, and England can't lose their heads here. They've got to get the white shirts back, and they do so as Beerenstein plays it back into the Netherlands half. Renate Janssen and Kirsten Kasperij are preparing to come on for the Dutch, and Esme Morgan stands ready to come on for England as Palova is pressured by Niamh Charles. Free kick goes the way of the Netherlands, but you can tell, Karen Bardsley, this stadium believes once more.
Oh, they certainly do, and I think these changes are going to make a big impact in terms of stability in the back line. Esme Morgan, has established herself at Manchester City as a centre back, but she can play as a full back as well. Jess Carter, they struggled tonight, let's have it right, but I think this will add a bit more of a better relationship between Esme Morgan and Alex Greenwood, which will hopefully bolster or continue to bolster the Lioness attack.
So that is the change for England as Victoria Palova and Dominique Janssen come off for the Dutch, and Renate Janssen and Kirsten Kasperij come on. Just on that, actually, we'll wait because the Netherlands have played that free kick, but it's an interesting change. England have just scored 2 goals, then Wiegman makes a change. If you're worried about that defensively, why not change that at half time? Why wait until you've just scored 2 goals and then change things, with the danger that could upset the momentum as Morgan does slot into this centre half role. Straight swap for Carter. So the Dutch out to the left hand side. 2-2 here at Wembley in this must-win match for England here in the Women's Nations League on 5 Live. But your thoughts on that, Karen, the timing of the change?
Yeah, I think sometimes managers try to buy themselves a bit more time, in terms of letting the players get warmed up sufficiently. Maybe that's that's an example of this particular game, because it's so cold tonight that Esme just needed a few more moments to kind of get warm. But what the initial thing is for me is that there were loads of centre backs on the bench to start with and in the squad, so it's more of a selection at the start of the game. Does she feel confident? But Esme Morgan is good enough to be a part of this Lioness squad for sure.
So here come England, having pulled it back with 2 goals in 2 minutes. The first from Stanway, the second from Hemp. 2-2 in this must-win game in the Women's Nations League here on BBC Radio 5 Live. A reminder, it's not just about England. This is about Team GB qualifying for the Olympics next year. If they don't win tonight, England, that hope is over for Team GB. Find a way to come from 2 goals down against the Netherlands here this evening, and those hopes stay alive for Team GB as the Netherlands pick the ball up over on the far side. Will be picked up just outside the penalty area, but England do well and force Lika Martins away back towards the halfway line, and the ball has been stolen over on the right hand side, and here come England again, and here is Lauren Hemp up against Sharida Spitzer, right hand side of the penalty area, pulls it back to Beth Mead, and now Kira Walsh. 2-2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. England need another goal. They've got time to get it. We're not even midway through the second half yet. All of a sudden this game has such a different complexion. It looks over. The dream looked over for England, for Team GB at the Olympics next year, but it's back on if they can find another goal. Sweet Caroline rings around once again. The crowd are doing their bit here at Wembley. They stuck with them through the first half, and they're doing so in the second as Greenwood plays the ball forward, and Niamh Charles is trying to get there inside the penalty area. Very good defending at the back by Sharida Spitzer. That is outstanding from the Dutch captain. Comes across, wins the ball and calmly clears away, but they can't keep it in on this near side. Serena Wiegman's out of a penalty area. Sharpish there, ready to get England back underway with the throw. It is still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland. A reminder, England need Belgium to drop points as well, either this evening or on Tuesday when they face the Dutch. Goodness me, Karen Bardsley, the drama.
It's a whirlwind, Vicky. Catch your breath. I'm sure you're going to have a lot more excitement to talk about, but I think we can see that Sharida Spitzer's taken a bit of momentum from this game as she's seeking treatment on the pitch at this moment in time. But yeah, I mean, going back to your initial comments around Beth Mead and her addition to this game, like, I'm so pleased that substitution's been made, because she's made an instant impact. You can see the effect that she's had on the Lionesses as well. It's really lifted, the energy, I think, is probably the biggest takeaway. Obviously the quality as well, but the energy, as we see that looks like Alessia Russo and potential Ella Toone substitutions here.
Yep, double change being prepared for England because they need another goal. It's 2-2 with the Netherlands here on 5 Live. Here is Niamh Charles. Plays it back to Alex Greenwood from the throw. Forward once more now. Keira Walsh will send it up towards the run of Beth Mead on that right-hand side. Brooks gets there but clears away, and the nerves are in evidence once again for the Netherlands. Straight out of play. England throw. Full-time, Wales 1, Iceland 2. So Wales are relegated in the Women's Nations League to League B for the European qualifiers, which means they cannot qualify automatically for Euro 2025. Here come the changes. Ella Toone is on for Georgia Stanway, and Alessia Russo is on for Fran Kirby.
Yeah, listen, I think Fran Kirby's put in a big shift tonight, still recovering from her initial injuries that caused her to miss the World Cup. But I think Alessia Russo will be used to this sort of role, in a sense that she used to come on as a sub.
It was
during
how
the Euros.
Exactly, it was how she was so effective in the Euro. She's not recaptured that form as a starter. Can she be the super sub once again? England need another heroine. Lauren Hemp, left-hand side of the penalty area. Here is Niamh Charles. Pulls it back to the edge of the centre circle, and Esme Morgan. The Dutch so deep once again, but remember, they're so dangerous on the counter. England with Lucy Bronze sends the ball into the area, and the header is flicked away by the Dutch out to this near side. Will it go for the corner? Niamh Charles is there. Will allow it to roll for the throw for England. It's all England at the moment, Karen Bardsley, and it has to be.
It is. This is the fight that I wanted to see from this Lionesses side. This is the character that we know that they possess, and we just need to see that quality come out, because it's there in spades. We just need to really pull it out here.
Niamh Charles wins another throw on this near side for England. Forward now to Keira Walsh. Pulls it back to Alex Greenwood. Again, the orange shirts of the Netherlands are so deep. It's 2-2. England need another goal. Out to the left-hand side. Flick forward by Niamh Charles. Hemp inside the penalty area. Left-hand side down to the byline. Spins to Lauren James and is collected by the Netherlands. And Jill Rawdo loses it on the edge of the area. Here is James. Pulls it back to Esme Morgan. Plays it forward now to Keira Walsh. Bit of a loose pass, but Lucy Bronze will collect it under a bit of pressure, but plays it forward, and England suddenly starting to play with confidence, and Walsh tries to slide it down the right-hand side, and Mead just overruns it. Van Donselaar gets there and clears out of play for an England throw, and the Dutch are going to make another change.
It's excellent pace from England. I think Ella Toone just needs to find her way into the tempo of the game. It's tough when it's going a million miles an hour. I think as a substitute, you're trying to get your eyes in and think to yourself, how am I going to impact this game when I come on? Where is the space going to be? How am I going to get on the ball? But yeah, touch a little bit loose there. A little bit loose from Keira Walsh. Not used to seeing that, but ultimately England is still on top.
So Meryl van Dongen is the player that's come on, and Sharida Spitzer, the captain, has come off because England are under real pressure now. Spitzer, one of their more experienced players, but van Dongen, the Atletico Madrid player, is on for her. So the Netherlands win a throw midway through their own half. 20 minutes plus added time to play. England need another goal. Karen Bardsley, how are your nerves?
Shot. Yeah, I haven't got much left, I'll be honest, Vicky, but I still genuinely believe that this England side have it in them. Like I said, there's quality throughout. and there's so much character. It's just now about finding that luck yourself, isn't it? It's about creating those opportunities, and I do think Alessia Russo certainly got one in her tonight as well.
4 goals she scored from the bench at the Euros as England won the European Championship last year. More than any other substitute has scored at a Women's Euros. They've got the talent out there, England. They've got the big game players. They've got the heroines. Can they find another one this evening? Russo through the centre, won't reach that ball ahead of Van Domselaar. But the belief is back, Karen Bardsley, inside this stadium and within this team as well. You can see it.
Yeah, obviously they've been lifted, haven't they? I mean, you can see Lauren Hemp dropping out to this left side. What I wanted to see was Lauren James going more centrally to support the attack behind Alessia Russo. And you've got Beth Mead buzzing away, trying to pressure with high advanced positions from Lucy Bronze. It's just exactly what we want to see.
Here goes Lauren Hemp down the left-hand side, under pressure on the edge of the penalty area. Challenged well at the back, but will fall to Kira Walsh, and Daphne Van Domselaar is right behind it. Well, Walsh has never scored a senior goal for England.
I know.
Wouldn't this just be the time, Karen Bardsley?
Darn right it would be. And I've seen her do it in training, like I said to you so many times. Like, she's done it to me and made me look absolutely foolish. But this girl can ping a ball, Kira Walsh, but they always just seem to go dead straight, so she needs to do something about that.
Headed forward by Lucy Bronze. Alessia Russo offside. Beth Mead's in the penalty area, but the chance is gone. The offside flag is up against Russo, and the Netherlands will have a free kick just inside their own penalty area. Goal in the championship. Preston QPR, Ellen Ellard.
Against the run of play, Queen's Park Rangers have the lead, and QPR fans finally see the acrobatic celebration of Paul Smith, who bundles over an Elias Scher ball. It's Preston North End 0, QPR 1.
Netherlands with the ball on the halfway line. 2-2 here at Wembley. Lucy Bronze has anticipated it and won it again. She is having a storming second half, and she's storming down the right hand side. Ball in field now to Ella Toon. Has it taken off her toes? And the Dutch will try and bring it forward. Nice little bit of control by Lieke Martins, but Esme Morgan will collect for England and send it back to Mary Earps. Out now to Alex Greenwood. 2-2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live as Greenwood looks for options, plays it forward to Lauren James, who's dropping deep to get involved. Kira Walsh been under pressure from Damarise Girola, the former Everton player, so finds Esme Morgan. And Morgan now will advance towards the halfway line for England. Out to the right hand side they go. Ella Toon over there exchanging passes with Beth Mead and looking for Alessia Russo. Cleared away by Van Dongen, but straight into Russo, who's racing to try and prevent the goal kick, and does so. Wins it down by the corner flag, pulls it back, ball almost into the area from Mead, finding Toon, but intercepted once again by the Dutch, who clears straight out of play to the FA Cup. Charlie Slater.
73 on the clock. York still trailing by a 1-0 to League One Wigan, but York might have seen their goalkeeper sent off a few moments ago. He only got booked but went walkabout outside of his area. Ball hit his ribs, hit his arm. Wigan fans wanted him red carded. He only got the yellow, as I say, but York running out of time if they want to get through to the third round. Still a goal down.
England running out of time as well to keep these Olympic hopes alive for Team GB. 2-2, they've come from 2 goals down here at Wembley. They need another goal or the dream is over. 16 minutes plus added time to play here on 5 Live as Greenwood almost loses the ball and does lose it on the edge of the centre circle, and here come the Dutch. Down the left hand side they go. Lieke Martins picks it up. Good covering there by Beth Mead, and Martins is forced back just inside the Netherlands half. Play the ball forward again. Martins will send it forward to Beerenstein. It's almost 2-on-2 here for the Dutch. Kira Walsh manages to head away, but that's it, Karen Bardsley, as England continue to commit the white shirts forward. They're leaving themselves more open at the back as Beerenstein picks it up left hand side. Martins into the penalty area as an option. Beerenstein on a hat-trick, still going, will go for goal. It's blocked away, cleared away by Kira Walsh. The Dutch will pick it up again on the left hand side with Esme Brooks. 2-2 here at Wembley on 5 Live in the Women's Nations League. This must-win match for England. Picked up once more, and the Dutch now, game management, will slow the play down and send it all the way back to Daphne Van Domselaar. Closing stages in Belgium. It is still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland. Scotland are doing their bit to help England, but England's still need a goal to hold up their end of the bargain in terms of this Team GB qualification. Down the right hand side go the Netherlands once more. Kasper to her fellow substitute Renate Janssen, who scored the 90th minute winner against England earlier in the Nations League, but the return ball from Kasper is poor. It's straight behind for an England goal kick. Karen Bardsley.
Whew, catch your breath. It's definitely exciting, isn't it, Vicky? I mean, you could see. What I was taking a look at was how the Dutch are looking to kind of take the energy out of this game a little bit by maintaining the possession, or like looking to build 2v1 down this near side against the Lionesses. Jill Roord's starting to take some more advanced positions, and so is Lika Martens, but the spaces are looking to emerge just in front of this England backline. I think England have to be a little bit wary about the spaces in between the ranks at this moment in time.
Van Domselaar plays it out to the left-hand side. The Netherlands goalkeeper all in bright yellow. And the ball goes out of play for a Netherlands throw. Well, those 2 goals inside 2 minutes, just about on the hour mark in the second half, have made it 2-2 as a few fans try and get a Mexican wave going in front of us. Come on. It is far too tense for that. Far too tense. Few people joining in.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Don't know how they can focus on that. England need another goal. 2-2 between England and the Netherlands here on 5 Live. Alex Greenwood in possession for England, whips the ball out to the right-hand side. It's poor. It won't reach Mead. And it's just becoming a little disjointed for England, Karen Bardsley.
I think you could see what you could see what Ella Toone was thinking Alex Greenwood was looking for. And Ella Toone just starts to come towards centrally to show in the pocket of space. But I think Alex Greenwood thought that Beth Mead was going to come down as well in the space. But yeah, that miscommunication needs to get sorted.
Well anticipated by Lucy Bronze again. Outstanding. This is one of her best performances in recent times in an England shirt, Lucy Bronze. But the Dutch have won it back and they send it out to this right-hand side. And Renate Janssen and Casper Rai of Manchester City is down the right-hand side. She's taking on her City teammate Alex Greenwood. Still with the ball, Casper Rai. 20 yards out, central position. Back to Renate Janssen, right-hand side. Whips it in left-footed. Berenstein picks it up in the penalty area. Blocked away by Esme Morgan and cleared away to safety by Lucy Bronze. Oh, brilliant turn there by Alessia Russo. She was clearly pulled back there by Van Dongen, who's going to get booked. There were players back, it was inside her own half, but that was such a good opportunity. It's one of those where if you could give an orange card, you would.
I say sin bin for me. But no, it was a great turn from Alessia Russo, but it was good game management, to be honest, from Van Dongen. You have to, give her credit there that she slowed the game down and taking the momentum right out of that counter-attack. But again, for me, a few warning signs here around the edge of the area for the Lionesses. Alex Greenwood is not getting close enough to sort of delay or block any sort of crosses, and the same for Niamh Charles. She needs to get up to the ball and prevent any service or delivery into Berenstein.
Alex Greenwood with the free kick forward. It's cleared away by the Netherlands into added time. Belgium 1, Scotland 1. Scotland looking for that late winner to avoid relegation to League B for the European qualifiers, which would end their hopes, as Wales have been ended, of qualifying automatically for Euro 2025. It also helps England out in terms of qualifying Team GB for the Olympics if England can find a late winner here at Wembley. Otherwise, the dream is over. Free kick to the Netherlands on this wide right-hand side. But the way they played in the second half, Karen Bardsley, England surely are going to get another chance to snatch this victory.
It's been an admirable second half performance from England, and I think you're absolutely right. There's definitely more depth in their performance, and there will be more opportunities. How clinical can they be in these dying moments?
Here is Casper Rai with the free kick for the Netherlands. Sends it in towards Berenstein. It's cleared away by England, but sent back in and sent over by Esme Brooks on the angle, high over the bar. And Mary Earps has another goal kick for the Lionesses. 2-2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. England need a goal. Kira Walsh out to the right-hand side. Brilliant ball if Lucy Bronze can take it in her stride, and she does. And the white shirts are streeping forward. Bronze in field to Toone on the stretch. Controls. Forward now to Lauren James, who steers it to Lauren Him. Left-hand side of the penalty area, has the space. Pulls the ball across. Mead is there, and the header is wide. The story was written, the stage was set, but Beth Mead can't steer the header on target and is behind for a Dutch goal kick. 2-2.
That's textbook build-up play. It's fantastic. It's a lovely ball from Alex Greenwood to find Kira Walsh. And, she hits a ball into the stride of Lucy Bronze. Doesn't even have to break stride. Goes back through the middle, finds Lauren James. And another opportunity on goal. Unfortunately, just not quite the contact that Beth Mead was looking for off the back of that Lauren Hemp cross. But another opportunity. And this is the standard. You have to be patient in your build-up to create high percentage opportunities in front of goal.
Scored her first couple of goals since returning from that ACL injury for Arsenal at the weekend. As the Netherlands come forward once more. Can she be the heroine? England need one. We're into the final 10 minutes. It's 2-2 here at Wembley as the Netherlands win a throw over on the far side. And Wembley just pauses to catch its breath.
Yeah, indeed.
Here come the Dutch down the left-hand side. Lika Martens goes down just outside the penalty area. Nothing given by our Swedish referee, and Kira Walsh will bring the ball forward for the Lionesses, and it's a great ball forward from Walsh, and Alessia Russo has it down the right-hand side. She's got Toon, James and Hempert with her. Russo trying to steer it through to Lauren Hemp. Kasparai is there and clears away for the Dutch. It will spin out on that right-hand side, and it's well prevented from going out for the corner as well. But England with the territory, England with the possession, England with the pressure. Can they find the goal that they need to keep Team GB's Olympic hopes alive, to keep their hopes of winning this Nations League group alive? They have the throw deep in Dutch territory to the edge of the area. Alessia Russo will bring it down at the second attempt, trying to steer it back to Ella Toon, who does have it right inside of the area, goes for the curl, a little deflection, could have gone anywhere, behind for a corner, just past that near post of Van Domselaar, who was rooted to the spot.
Yeah, she absolutely was, but hey, that's the magic when you shoot in that really close space. You never really know, and that was just a few yards wide of potentially dropping in that Dutch near post.
Corner to England on the far side. Swung in right-footed, Bronze is in there, well challenged, comes back out to Kira Walsh. Back out to the right, England go. Van der Donk is down. England play on. Plenty of white shirts still in there. And the header once again is steered wide. This time by Alex Greenwood. It will be a goal kick to the Dutch, but Van der Donk has gone down again. So play is momentarily stopped. England 2, the Netherlands 2. England need a goal.
I was looking at the back post there, just beyond Alex Greenwood. You could see Ella Toon was behind her, and I just wonder, did she shout? And would Alex Greenwood have left it? Was Ella Toon in potentially a better position for more contact on the header? Hard to say. But I have to say, Vicky, I mean, I'll be interested to get your opinion on this. Yeah, I think Esme Morgan, the impact that she's made in terms of just kind of managing the Dutch threat in behind, I think says a lot about her game intelligence and the organizational skills that she has.
71,632 packed inside Wembley here this evening, cheering England on. They need another goal. It's 2-2 with the Netherlands in the Women's Nations League. Alex Greenwood there just getting some instructions from Serena Wiegman. Still 1-1 between Belgium and Scotland. That is deep into added time in Belgium. Full time 1-1. So Scotland are relegated to League B for the European Championship qualifiers. That means they cannot qualify automatically. They'd have to go through the playoffs. For England and Team GB's prospects, Scotland have done them a favour because Belgium needed to drop points, and they have done. But England have to win. If England can't find a late goal here on 5 Live at Wembley, it's all over for Team GB's Olympic hopes. And no wonder that Serena Wiegman is turning to her bench once again. Rachel Daly is preparing to come on, and Shanice van der Sanden of Liverpool preparing to come on for the Dutch. We're into the final 6 minutes. The Netherlands win a free kick just inside their own half. Karen Bardsley.
It's going to be all out, isn't it? It's going to be an absolute dogfight to the last final whistle, isn't it? But you can see that Serena Wiegman wasn't quite happy about that substitution. Niamh Charles was coming off. It looks like she had either gotten the number wrong, or Shanice van der Sanden was meant to be going on first before Rachel Daly. But yeah, well, we see Rachel Daly go up alongside Alessia Russo. I imagine she might end up going left back to replace Niamh Charles. It'll be interesting to see.
So Van der Sanden is on for Van der Donk, who's just picked up a knock. They're delaying the substitution for now, Serena Wiegman. So Niamh Charles stays on for now. Rachel Daly is still preparing to come on as the ball is played forward once more for England. Russo has it on the halfway line, plays it back to Lucy Bronze, who plays it into Van der Sanden, and it will spin to Beerenstein. That's an excellent challenge from Lucy Bronze, winning it back from Beerenstein. And Mary Earps has it for England into the final 5 minutes plus added time. We're approaching kitchen sink time, Karen Bardsley. England need a goal. It's 2-2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. Ball is played forward to Renate Janssen. Greenwood is there. Kira Walsh picks it up. Here now is Lauren James as Niamh Charles as an option. James still going, advantage played, still going James. Pulls it to Russo, edge of the area, the low shot. Oh, trickles just past the post. Van Domselaar left that as casually as you like. Tell you what, Karen Barsley, I know goalkeepers are sometimes confident, but that was not far away at all.
I'll tell you what, that was significantly closer than I initially suspected. But seeing the replay just then, it was about a good yard wide. But look, here we are. We see Rachel Daly going up top alongside Alessia Russo with Niamh Charles coming off. It looks like we're going to 3 in the back here for England.
Goal kick to the Netherlands. 2-2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live with 4 minutes plus added time to play here at Wembley. England need a goal or Team GB's Olympic hopes are over. Cleared forward by Alex Greenwood. Russo on the turn, headed away by Van Dongen at the back for the Netherlands and helped on by Casper Rai. They're trying to work it up towards halfway. Greenwood will send it forward once more for England. Here is Lauren James down the left hand side, easing away from Eguirola. Swings the ball in left-footed, headed away to the edge of the area. Hemp can't bring it down. Neither can Ella Toon, and Brooks will clear long upfield for the Netherlands. Lucy Bronze will get there first ahead of Berenstein. And Esme Morgan should be able, and does, hit it back to Mary Earps, who catches and bowls the ball out to this left-hand side and Alex Greenwood. This would be one of the most remarkable comebacks for England under Serena Wiegman. It would be so precious. The Olympics are a huge tournament. For Team GB not to be there would be a bitter, bitter pill to swallow. To keep those hopes alive, they've got to score in the final 3 minutes plus added time, but it's the Netherlands coming forward. Poor delivery though. Lucy Bronze is there again. She has been sublime in this second half. Loose touch from Ella Toon. Van der Sanden picks it up from the Dutch. Here is Jill Roord turning away from the pressure of Toon and plays it out to the left hand side, and Esme Brooks, who dinks it in field. The Dutch though can't keep hold of it with Lika Martins, and England will bring it forward. Here is Rachel Daly. Down the right hand side she goes. Alessia Russo will pick it up. Daly's racing into the centre. Toon is there as well. Russo with the delivery, little miscue, and James on the stretch can't control. Spins to Hemp. Forced out of the penalty area left-hand side. 2-2 here on 5 Live. England need a goal against the Dutch. Alex Greenwood sends it out to the left-hand side. There's space for him. She swings it in left-footed over the head of James. Might fall in the centre. Wasn't enough on it from Rachel Daly. And Daphne van Domselaar can gather for the Dutch. 2 minutes plus added time to play.
Oh, the space is certainly there. You know, down the wide areas for Lauren Hemp, and you know, it's a good opportunity. Bodies in the area. It's just, again, we're lacking that composure in front of goal. Still definitely got the bodies there. Rachel Daly's got the attitude in terms of putting her body on the line to try and make something happen, but are the better options just to her right where the space is.
Renate Janssen sends it forward for the Dutch. It's 2-on-2, and they're coming forward now by Lika Martins as they look to wrap it up, and Mary Earps makes the save, beats the ball behind. It's a Netherlands corner. They're roaring at these England fans, but England need to defend this corner quickly and get the ball up the other end. They have to score. 2-2 is not good enough.
That's massive for Mary Earps, I'll be honest. I mean, she's not had a whole lot to do in this second half, and to be able to keep the concentration, she's, you know, after not being involved, after the mistake from the first half, a good solid save, and she'll be looking to get reset. But you can see right now that Beth Mead is pulling out to start asking questions of the Dutch defence and looking for an outlet straight away from a counter-attack.
Yep, she's up by the halfway line, Mead, as is Hemp. They've got to defend this corner first, but it has pulled orange shirts out of the penalty area. Renate Janssen with the delivery. Bronze wins the header, comes to Roord, 25 yards out. The Manchester City midfielder into the area, blocked away by her Manchester City teammate Esme Morgan. Spins out to Berenstein, who scored those 2 goals in the first half. England have levelled it up at 2-2 in the second, but they need another goal. Brooks sends it forward, Mary Earps watches it, and they allow it to bounce behind. It will be an England goal kick. We're into the final 30 seconds plus added time. England 2, Netherlands 2 here on BBC Radio 5 Live. England have taken the goal kick short. Now Mary Earps lifts it out to that left-hand side. Lauren Hemp wins the header. Chested down by Eguirola. Greenwood will get there, sends the ball forward, and Alessia Russo is off and underway, trying to win that ball, and she has done against Dijkstra. Down the left-hand side, Russo keeps the ball in, flag stays down. Dijkstra was appealing for offside. Hemp picks it up for England, swings it left-footed into the area, looking for those white shirts. James can't bring it down on the edge of the box. Forward now by Lucy Bronze, hacked clear by the Dutch, who are defending so deep as we enter added time. England's in possession Out to the left-hand side they go. 5 minutes of added time and we're into the now. Lauren James swings the ball into the area and on the far side, England have found that goal. It's an absolutely huge moment at Wembley once again. And could England just have preserved Team GB's hopes of going to the Olympics? It's Ella Toon in at the far post, slides it into the bottom corner, and from 2-0 down, England lead the Dutch by 3 goals to 2.
Toon, oh my word! She loves it here. She's come up big again for England. But what a ball into the area from LJ, Lauren James. But wow, what a finish to this game this is going to be. Absolutely stupendous.
Unbelievable what England have done in this second half. And you know, as Lauren James goes down and wins a free kick, what is so key, there was no celebration. They raced back to the halfway line because they know to give themselves the best chance to put this in their own hands, they need to beat the Netherlands by 2. Now it's still live going into the final day, but if the Netherlands beat Belgium with the score staying like it is, probably the Netherlands would win on goal difference because the head-to-head would be level. Can England find this goal? Ball into the area from Lauren James. It's cleared away by the Dutch, but at least Karen Bardsley, at least. It might not be necessarily completely in their own hands, but they've given themselves a chance and they're coming forward again towards the penalty area. Dispossessed, falls to Toon, pulls the ball back. There's only one team in it now. Can England find the goal that really would put them in charge of their own destiny? Inside the area, little ricochet, comes to Hemp, left-hand side of the penalty area, pulls it back to Lauren James, lovely bit of skill. James trying to get the shot away, dinks it in, and the effort is steered wide as the ball is behind. The whistle's gone anyway. Free kick to the Netherlands. Karen Bardsley, are you all right?
No, I'm not. I'm exasperated. This is just fantastic stuff. I mean, like the little chess battles that are going on. You've got Lauren James, like, you know, nearly going to ground for a penalty. The back line drops off, allows her to have a cross completely unobstructed. The opportunity to get a header on the end of it, or Alessia Russo to get a foot outstretched. Oh, this is fantastic football.
Here come England once again. Little 1-2. Ball into the penalty area. Hemp's in there. Brilliant challenge on the edge of the 6-yard box. And again, the whistle's gone. Again, it's a free kick to the Dutch. Oh, England are pushing so hard in added time here to get this goal. They've given themselves a chance. If they win, it will go down to the final day. But if they can get another goal, it really does put things within their grasp in terms of qualification for the Olympics.
Oh, it's a lovely ball in from Kira Walsh. I can't believe I'm saying it from a wide area. I couldn't tell you the last time I saw her put a cross in. But what a fantastic defensive clearance from the Dutch defender, Kirsten Kasperij.
And they clear it away once more, the Dutch. So here is how things stand at the top of Group A1. The Netherlands and England level on 9 points apiece. Head-to-head is equal, so the Netherlands ahead on goal difference. The Netherlands at home to Belgium in their final game. England away to Scotland as the Dutch win a throw midway through their own half. Still all to play for, and at half-time it really didn't look as though that would be the case. But England are pushing. They want this head-to-head record. They want to give themselves the best possible chance of Olympic qualification for Team GB going into the final round of games. And if they can score again, they really do put themselves in the driving seat. But the Dutch have stolen it, and this is the gamble, because if the Dutch score here, then it's all over. Brilliant challenge in the centre by Esme Morgan on Annette Berenstein on a hat-trick, and England come forward once more, and here goes Kira Walsh out to the right-hand side, and Beth Mead takes it in her stride. We're into the final minute of added time. Beth Mead, right-hand side of the penalty area, trying to work room to get the ball into the area. It's blocked away by the Dutch and will be picked up by Lucy Bronze once more. Out to the left-hand side she goes, and that is the full-time whistle. It will go down to the final day. England's players are flat out. They know that they have come back remarkably in this second half. It is not in their own hands as they would have wanted it to be, to the extent that it could have been. But Karen Bardsley, it could have been all over, and England have to take so much pride and so much encouragement going into the final round of games that at least they have given themselves, they have given Team GB a chance.
What a remarkable second half, Vicky Sparks. I cannot believe what has happened in front of my own eyes. I mean, the quality, the character to come back and to nearly actually have a fourth in the dying moments of the game. I mean, it says a lot about this team, but I'll be honest, it was an unforgivable first half performance for me.
I'm breathless. I'm not quite speechless.
I'm not surprised.
Because that really happens. But it's so interesting there, seeing the reaction of those England players. You know, there's celebrations around here at Wembley. The way they've come back in this second half is amazing. But this is how it stands at the top of the group. So Belgium have dropped points against Scotland. Scotland finished bottom. They are relegated to League B for the European qualifiers. They are bottom of the group on 2. Belgium are in third place on 8. England are in second place on 9, joint with the Netherlands. They're level on head-to-head, but the Netherlands are ahead on goal difference. And realistically, Karen Bardsley, barring a very big win for England at Hampden Park against Scotland, if the Dutch, and Jen Beattie's back with us and she's grinning away to my right-hand side, if the Dutch beat Belgium on the final day, even if England beats Scotland, it's very likely that it will be the Netherlands that are going through to keep alive their hopes of Olympic qualification and to win the Nations League group. But you just never know.
No, you're absolutely right. You never know. And, you know, it's fun. It's kind of ironic, really, that it's come down to a potential situation like this. But, you know, with England facing Scotland as well for potential Team GB qualification, you know, it's just quite funny the way this has kind of panned out. But, you know, will the Dutch be strategic here? You know, like, I don't know. Ultimately for me, I'm looking at Jen Beattie dancing here in the press box. And like you said about the reaction from this England side when that final whistle went, they looked devastated. And I think they actually knew that they needed to do a little bit more. And to be honest, they should have never let the game get into the state that it was in the first half. But you have to give credit to the Dutch. You know, they played very, very well in the first half. And I can't imagine they're going to take their foot off the accelerator, if I'm being honest, Vicky.
What a night at Wembley. England have kept their hopes of winning the Nations League group alive, just about, and with it, Team GB's hopes of going to the Olympics next summer. It all comes down to Tuesday night's games. England away to Scotland at Hampden Park. Will have commentary on 5 Sports Extra. The Netherlands at home to Belgium. What a finish we're going to have in the Women's Nations League. It could have been so different for England. The dream could have been over as they're in their huddle now, hands around each other's shoulders. They have at least kept us dreaming for a few more days. It finishes England 3, Netherlands 2 at Wembley. Katie.
I'm going to help you guys out and do a bit of talking so you can get your breath back.